your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook. Let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Angler's Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here hanging out with you.
Yeah, just want to say hello to everybody and tell everybody how lucky I am because one of my friends is going to be our guest tonight. You know, he's also a good fisherman, Mr. Michael Catt. He used to fish the MPFL, and he's also a champion. He won the Potomac River event this year for the Toyota series. It's still Toyota, right?
Yeah, still Toyota. Yeah,
they haven't changed it yet. I don't know. I have a hard time with that division or with that series. What's going on? But no, it's in all seriousness. Michael Catt, he's from Florida. He can catch fish north and south. And just got back from Champlain not too long ago. And we're not going to talk about that trip. We just want to talk about the Potomac where he came out as a champion. All right, I'm going to bring him on now.
Absolutely.
We'll go from there.
That's it.
Hello, sir.
Hey, guys.
How's it going, Mike?
Pretty good.
All right.
Congratulations again, you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
One of the things we like to start the show out is talk a little bit about yourself, your fishing, and how you started.
So, dude, it's been a crazy ride in my life a little bit. I started back when I was 20 years old, fishing professionally as a co-angler. And that's what the biggest thing about this as well is I would never have changed that for anything. I learned so much as a co-angler back in the day, and my dad taught me at a real young age how to fish and grew up, loved the sport, wanted to do more with it. So started co-angling, and I almost won my very first event on the St. Johns River here at home in Florida, and I almost won it as a co-angler. And that really sparked a fire under me, I think. And I fished for a few years, and then I had to call it quits for a little while to have a family. And then I came back strong, probably 10 years now. I'd say 6 years of that now was all co-angling, just so I can get my feet back in the water, learn from these guys, take the best advice I can from them, and use that to my advantage later on. Because I knew one day I was going to step to the front of the boat. Yeah. Now that, you know, I had a really good friend of mine named Jeff Fitz. I traveled with him everywhere. I give him a lot of my credit because he's taught me everything that I needed to know about this business and how to present myself to the front of the boat. And he's always encouraged me to go forward. It's time. And I put it off. And 4 years ago, I joined the MPFL, did real well my first year, almost won the very last event on Toho. So that was really good. And then I decided to back out just a little bit and go back to the MLS, grow my roots as a boater. And within 3 years, I got my first career win. So I've been close. I've had 6 top 10s. You know, I got, I think, I forget, 9 top 15s and a couple of BASS Nation event wins. And I'm just all over trying to figure it out. And I've got a pretty good resume going on for 3 years as a boater. So as a professional now, as a professional angler. So pretty excited about that. And next year we got some big moves going on. I think I'm going to make a pretty big change, but not too big of a change. But we're going to go for a lot next year. So,
awesome.
So yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for co-angling, though, I probably wouldn't know as much as I do today. Though I would never have changed it.
Right.
Change that fact that I did that though. Instead of going full head, a lot of these guys now they'll just jump right in and they do good at first and then they crash and burn. Well,
yep.
I'm not gonna say they all do that, but I think that growing up as a pro-co is what I called myself. It taught me exactly what I needed to do and what not to do as a professional angler. So,
Yeah, that's something we'll circle back to as far as the
Yeah.
co-angling. There's something I want to talk about on this, but so let's take us back to the Potomac. It seemed like everything set up perfect for you there.
So Potomac River, I'm from the St. Johns River in Florida, and it's all tidal. Potomac's tidal. Potomac River sets up like home to me. It touches me. I mean, I understand it. I diversify it. I can. I feel like I can already know without me being there what these fish are literally going to be doing by the time I get there. All the knowledge and public information is there, but for me, the past few years, I would say 4 years ago, I drew a guy, had an excellent co-angling experience. I finished third as a co-angler on the Potomac River, and I took this knowledge, and I say this deeply because it really, this one tournament changed my life on the Potomac River. Day one, I drew a guy that taught me how to catch some really good fish in a manner that I didn't know. And then on day two, I literally threw all that away, and we completely did something else in a whole different direction. And I had the biggest bag of the tournament. And then I made day three, and of course, I drew out a really good friend of mine, Matt Becker, and he was very consistent, 17 pounds. I was like, man, I just need 17 pounds, 16 pounds again. I'll have this. And it was a bad day. Just things didn't happen, and I ended up in third. So I took that to my knowledge, and I've been working on that ever since as a boater. And man, I really had a shot last year at Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. I made day three with that as well, with the same knowledge that I was using then as I'm using now. And then I dialed in this one creek. It's just a special area, like just set up this year. I was really excited to get there because I had heard that the fish weren't, the grass wasn't growing like it used to. And there wasn't much grass there. And so I already knew right then it's not going to be a flipping game, possibly, but it could be frog, it could be chatterbait. You can never pass up a chatterbait there. You'll always catch fish on that.
Absolutely.
Wacky rig, them are my style. That's my style. And I had some back creeks I fished up there, and I went up there, and on the first day of practice, and I went to my juice hole, and there was a few boats there, and some of them were like, man, this is trash. I'm like, okay, this might be just talking, but a couple guys were there fishing. I saw one guy catch a fish, and then he left. I was like, okay, but he's really not fishing what I fish. And I went up there and made 2 casts and caught a 6.5 pounder. No one seen me. I turned around, I released that fish, and I looked around. Everybody's leaving. Like, no one's even in there. I make a couple more casts. I didn't hook set a single fish after that. Shook one off. I probably shook off 13 fish on a 200-yard stretch. And I was like, man, this is crazy. So I got this little special bend up this way back in this creek. And I go up there, and I look, and there's a kayaker up there. And I'm like, man, he's sitting right on top of everything. So I go up there. I said, you mind if I fish here for just a second? And he was like, no. I said, you ain't got to move or nothing. I just looked. I didn't even fish. I just looked under. There was like 50 fish there. I was like, okay, that's all I need to see. Within 35 minutes, I went back just because I saw him leave. And I pitched in there and caught a 3. And I pitched in there again and caught another 3.5. And I was like, okay, I already know what they all are. Don't need to be back here. I never went back there through the rest of the tournament. I just left it alone. I left and went to try and put other stuff together. I didn't even use any of it. I found a good frog mat. I found some walls with chatterbaits that had giant fish on it. I just spent all 3 days on that one stretch, 200-yard stretch, the magic stretch. Yeah. So I was catching them, pitching the laydowns that these fish were setting up on an outgoing tide. So I don't feel like I had to have that outgoing tide, but it was best on that outgoing tide. It pulled them down to where I needed them at, and they would set up on these laydowns and in the current, and I would just pitch over a brush hog, a bruiser hog, and just drag it right by their face, and they'd eat it every time. And then, of course, my my Potomac special color that I've been working on for about 3 years with Bruiser Baits, we finally finalized that and last year, and I used it this year, and I won the tournament off of it. So, and it's a drop shot, and that's all I did was catch them in that tight bend on a drop shot. So things worked out for me this year, and I mean, I left them. Like, I still left them. I can't wait to go back and catch more there. So thank God on the first day, it was really awesome to know that I had a 20-pound bag. That's almost unheard of a lot of times on that part of the river. Over in Chesapeake Bay, of course, you can catch a lot of 20-pound bags over there, but on this part of the river, you can catch a 20-pound bag. You can catch a little bit bigger 20-pound bag, but it's not, an everyday thing. Yeah. And for two people to come in with 20-pound bags that day, I was losing by an ounce on day one. Oh. And I talked to that gentleman, and he was just like, man, it was just all luck. It was just all luck. I don't think I can do that tomorrow. And I'm like, well, that's not the head game you need, bud. But
yep.
He put me in a mindset like, man, I know I can do it again. Yeah. I know I can, because my fish there are 4s and 5s and 6s. So, catching that first fish of the day was a 612, and it was big bass of the day on day one. I was like, man, this is going to be awesome. And then I had 20 pounds in like 3 hours. So I literally just guarded my area a little bit and just got away from it, made sure people didn't just get around it. And only like 2 or 3 boats showed up down there. And it's a far run. I made a really far run to this place. So I don't think even some of the people that showed up were even fishing against me. Right. So I think they were just weekenders, But that being said, I went back day 2, still had, I had the biggest bag of that day, and I had 18 pounds. And then the last day I came in with 16, 12, I think. No, 17. Oh, I forget what I had. But I had almost 17 pounds, I think it was. Yeah, it was 16, 12, I think it was. So, and I had a big fish on each one of those days that anchored my bags to make them that big. So, man, it was just a special tournament to me. It meant a lot to me, meant a lot to my family. That was just one I really wanted to win, and I won it. And I can't be more happier for that. I'm blessed for that. So put a lot of work in. That's for
Absolutely.
Sure.
So about that color.
That Potomac special?
Yeah. Do you have that with you right now?
I actually,
no, I'm only picking.
Man, I honestly, I do not think I have that. I wish I had that color with me right now, and I don't. And I normally do, because
that's
I've been showing it off so much. I don't have it with me. It is a laminate. It's a very laminate, like sort of. It's a purple, but it has a really light laminate tint to it, and I think. I really don't know why, 100% why these fish really want that. The shape of it, I would say maybe they're like baby snakeheads or something, or I don't know what it is that they just can't stand about it. But it's that purple color. That purple is, it pops on that river. I mean, anywhere I go, I can catch them with it on that river. Yeah. And I can do the same here. I'll be honest with you, at the St. John's, I can throw that purple anywhere here and catch them.
And I want to publicly say thank you, because I saw your hat, reminded me, and I'm looking above, and I got what, 10 or 11 arc rods and reels above me.
Yeah,
because you and I have had several conversations about rods and reels and stuff like that, and
Yep. And my title sponsor is arc rods and gravity reels. I mean, that's all I throw. That's all I believe in. They're phenomenal rod and reels. I mean, if you have never gotten an arc rod before, you really need to try one out. Heck, if I'm even around, I'll put one in your hand and let you fish with it. The gravity reels are amazing as well. And as John just said, I mean, it's just, they're really good rod and reel products. I mean, Arc has phenomenal products. And We have our own patent in our gears, our braking system in our reels too as well. So it's like a magnetic braking system. So it's like so much. You'll have less backlashes through everything you do. It's an amazing reel.
Yeah, it's really hard to backlash that spinning reel too. I tried, but
honestly, I can't backlash it. I might tie a wind knot. I might get a wind knot, but that's about it.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna backlash them spinning reels.
No,
and they're we have the 2500 and the 3000s, and I love them. The 3000's my thing. I like a big geared reel like that, and I really put it to the test at Champlain, and I caught all my fish mainly in the Potomac with it, and heck, all around the country I've been catching them with it. So
yeah, well, you have an event coming up that's you might be putting that to the test again. Up on the St. Lawrence.
Yep. I leave a few weeks from now, and I'll be gone. I'm leaving the 15th of August, and I can't wait to get up there. I literally cannot wait to get up. That's my next thing. I've won a largemouth event that I've been wanting to win my whole life, and I finally did that. And now I need to test myself with these smallmouth, and I know I can do it. I really thought I had a shot at Champlain because I found some hammers, some big smallmouth, but just didn't work out for me on day 2, and I came in with a pretty decent bag, just not enough. I'm still sitting 14th in the AOY points for the Northerns right now, and awesome. So I'm still happy about that. But I really need to make a move on the St. Lawrence to clinch that, and I think it's going to be really difficult with some of the guys that are ahead of me. But nothing's too difficult, it's anybody's game. So I think that I'll just go up there with my head strung, high. And put these reels to the test. I'm gonna be burning these gravity reels up with these big old smallmouth.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Rusty Odom, our guest from last night, was saying, "What's up, guys?" No, it's a very unique fishery. A lot of places you go and you get 20 pounds. You're ecstatic. On day 1, then you're happy about it. Then on day 2, you might slack off and get 15. Well, if you get 15 pounds on St. Lawrence, you're out of it.
You're out.
Oh, yeah.
And
you gotta have 20 pounds a day. It's
more than I think when you get up there, you're gonna probably have to cash a check. You're gonna have 20. If you want to make the top 10,
I would say that if the fish wasn't
feeding.
I would say that, but see, these fish they're engorging themselves right now. I mean, they spawned real early. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to go up there and practice while they were spawning because these fish, they boomed quick. They had a lot of hot weather early. So I think it's going to take, to win this event, you're going to need 24, 25 pounds a day to win it. And that's lowballing it, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I think there's some high numbers to be caught there, and there's Corey or Corey Johnson's proved that in the past, and so is Chris. I mean, they've come in with almost 30 pounds or whatever. It's ridiculous what size fish are there, and all smallmouth. You cannot win with largemouth. You can compete, but you ain't going to win it.
No.
And that's always fun there too, but. Yeah, just having a mixed bag ain't going to cut it. You're going to have 22 pounds. But this time of year, I really think with the way the fish have already moved, 19 pounds, 18, 19, you're going to have a high 18 to a 19-pound bag every day to cut a check. I think you're right about that. It's going to be high.
Yeah, because they're going to be gorging.
I don't know if you'll have to have 20 pounds a day to do it, but it's again going to be all about ounces, just like Champlain.
Yeah. And that's what makes it hard to gain any ground up here is because everybody's so close that
I can't tell you how many fish what?
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I can't tell you how many fish I caught at Lake Champlain and before it got to the boat, it coughed up 5 ounces of fish.
Dang.
They were sitting there just engorging themselves with bait. And by the time you get them in the boat, they would done coughed up everything they had in their stomach. I mean, just shad, ling, all these baits that these cod or whatever they're eating up there is crazy. So I don't know if St. Lawrence is going to play like that and them coughing up gobies or what, but
I don't know, but
it's unreal.
yeah. Now is that
I'm
your
ready
last-
though. That's for
is that
sure.
the last
I can't
one
wait.
for you?
Absolutely.
No, I got the St. Lawrence River coming up, and then in September I got to go fish the last Southern, which is on Santee Cooper in South Carolina.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I'm off for a couple of weeks. I got some guiding stuff I got to do, and then a couple of shows I'm going to go do, and then in November, of course, I'm gonna go up. No, actually, the 2 weeks prior to the Toyota Championship in November, I'm going to go up to Wheeler and practice, and then I'm going to go up for a week to practice on Wheeler before the championship.
Okay.
So, looking forward to that one.
Absolutely.
I like to offer everybody that
I heard they got some. Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
when you come up this way, if you want to take a day or two and relax on Cayuga Lake, you're more than welcome to stay at my place. You know, we have an empty bed, empty room.
I would love that. Cayuga is something that I've always wanted to go. You know, I have a really good friend of mine that I can call one of my best friends, and that's Dakota Eber. And Dakota is, you guys should all know who he is and what he's done on that lake. And after seeing what's been, shown there, I definitely want to hit that lake one day. I've been always looking forward to going there.
Well, I'm 15 minutes from it, buddy.
Man, nice.
And you're more than welcome to.
I know, right? I tell you,
look, it's tough living where I'm at, man. It's tough. Oneida's 45 minutes away. St. Lawrence is an hour and a half. Cayuga's 15 minutes. Lake Erie's 2 hours. It's terrible.
I don't know how you work. I'd be fishing every day.
I think that's why my wife doesn't want me to get a boat, because she knows I won't want to work.
Hey, he didn't mention the snow and ice, though. He's leaving that out.
I'll tell you what. Hey, you got more snow last year than I did.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's in Tennessee. And
Kentucky, yeah.
You need to send some of that snow down to Florida.
Yeah.
Eddie Carper says, take John up on that offer. Trust me, the cookies alone are worth it.
Oh, yeah.
And see, Eddie and I are good friends. I've been friends with Eddie for years. That's a great guy right there. And
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He came over.
I know he can hear me, so I'll probably take you up on that offer anyhow.
Yeah, he came. Came over 4th of July weekend, and we went to Cayuga. And I think within the first 4 hours, we had between 22 and 23 pounds.
Nice.
Yeah, and we didn't go very far.
Catching them drop shotting.
No.
Oh, lessons. I'm always ready to learn.
And Michael, they were all largemouth.
Oh. Well, okay. I wasn't ready for that.
I didn't mean to make you speechless, but no, actually, Cayuga is a very good largemouth lake for up here. Until the gobies came in, smallmouth were a wintertime thing. But now with the gobies, they feed all year round. So
yeah.
But enough about me and the terrible fisheries I have around me. Let's talk about. Let's cover some of you. You've got quite a resume. You've not been fishing the pro side for only 5-6 years.
With bass, I have. With MLF, I've only been doing it for 3 years. NPFL a year, and Bass 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So
I've been a co-angler. I grew up as a co-angler. I just never, I don't know how to say that really. I just never really had the sponsors or someone that would back me with a boat and help me out and stuff. So I never really could. I'm a blue collar man. I work my butt off every day. I still own a cabinet business that I work every day when I'm at home. And when I'm not, I leave and I'm back to doing what I want to do. So I'm either guiding or I'm hanging cabinets or I'm fishing. So one or the other until I can put all that together. So right now I'm getting I got some pretty good sponsors right now. Still looking for some new investments, but so
Cool.
I'd really like to have someone, put all their faith and trust into me and let me show them what I can do. So
Absolutely.
But yeah,
I think your resume speaks volumes. Just looking at it.
I have a really good resume. I'm not going to brag on myself too much, but I will brag a little bit. I mean, I think I've done really well for myself. Going up, I've fished 49 events now, and I would say a little less than 3/4 of that was really all co-angling, and that's what just speaks for myself that I dedicated myself into this to learn from the best. And I think that everybody I was put in the boat with, but one, was the best to me because they all taught me something. And it taught me how to be who I am now and who not to be when I am then. So being a professional angler, I hold a high level of standard to myself and to my co-angler, if I have one, and to, the fishing community. So being as that said, I'll never stop going the way I am right now, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's good. I've been dominating.
I got as a boater, I think I have now 3 top 10s, 1 career win, 12 top 20s. I have some that are 15s and 10s though. And of course, a handful of 30s, but as a boater, I think I've done really well, sitting 56 in the points for Southern Division right now in the MLF. And then I'm sitting 14th in the points for AOI in the Northerns. And I've done real well in the past, in the past couple of years as well. And I did really well my first year in the NPFL and made a small name for myself there too as well. So cut a few checks there.
Nice. You have anything, Rob?
No, I was going to ask him about being a co-angler. Kind of what was the best things you learned? Like, I know for me, it's like you get to ride all these different boats. You kind of get to know, what you like about one, what you don't like about another. But like I said, learning from every guy. I mean, every time I go out, I'm learning from somebody. But what's kind of the best things you've learned as being a co-angler, I guess?
So, I mean, I've been asked that question a lot, and the first thing is how to respect a co-angler. We're here to make money and fish. We love the sport just as much as they do, as being a boater, and being able to fish from the back of the boat. There was rules. You couldn't cast past half mast. So many things that you had to respect to the boater as a co-angler as well. But I took notes, like everything he did that performed in that area, I would go back and I would write all this stuff down. I have journals at home that are I honestly have like 5 different journals right now full of everywhere I've been, of what we did, when it was, the time of day and time of month and what these fish were doing and the color of the bait. I mean, I've written all this stuff down and I use it. I still, like St. Lawrence River, I'll go back and I'll look at everything that I've written out for the St. Lawrence River just to put it in my head to refresh myself with, oh, well, I forgot about this. Let's go check that out. But as a co-angler, I learned a lot from these boaters by dialing color of water to the bait. That was a big thing. Watching them like pre-tie things, things that will get them ahead. changing their hooks out constantly. Don't ever, if your line's nicked, cut that off and redo it. You got money on the line, you got to learn. So I would never do that. I would fish almost all year with the same line on my reel back in the day because I couldn't afford to keep getting more line. So, before the tournament now, I would stretch off like 10 or 15 yards and cut it off and throw it away, but I would never rip all that line off. But when you got this kind of money on it, you learn what you got to do, throughout the years. But, defining the color of the water for the bait, if it's clear, hot, day, cold, light, sunny, rain, whatever. I took notes of all that stuff, and that was a really big key to my success in life, and it still is, and it still will be. I think anybody knows that. But taking from them, the courtesy of respecting another angler, that was a big player because, you just don't, when you don't have a boat and you're a co-angler, you have to learn these things if you're ever going to achieve your goals to where you want to be in life as a professional angler at the front of the boat. And let's see what else. I mean, coloring. The color is like, I guess that was probably the biggest thing, is learning how to dial in the right color, and matching the bait, and forage that's around, if you have matted grass or if you're fishing rock, if it's cold. So a lot of these things, these are the biggest things. And I know that's common. Everybody knows you have to really dial these fish in, but taking that knowledge from professionals that know. I'll tell you one. This one, like something simple as this. I was doing the exact same thing as this man. I was on Table Rock, or was it Lake of the Ozarks? I think it was Lake of the Ozarks. I was on Lake of the Ozarks. I made day 3. I drew out Greg Bohannon.
Yep.
I was sitting in like 6th place. I was doing the same thing he was. But for an example, is he put, are you there?
Yep. Hello? Yeah,
Hello.
we got you.
We got
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So what Greg did was he put a split shot. We were throwing a weightless worm up against bushes, but he had a split shot with a swivel on, and it made that worm fall so much differently. Just something as simple as that. Learning how to take the twist out of your lines and making your bait perform differently than it should. If you get what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So things like that was a big thing for me to learn from. I wanted to learn those things. It excited me to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Tweaking a buzz bait, putting a bigger blade on a spinner bait. I always thought you had to throw this one bait, that how it came. I didn't know you could adjust so much. But learning over the years how to adjust your baits and changing the colors, and watching the weather and how it performs would be, such a big difference in the fishing world to do. So
absolutely,
and that was my biggest go from being from the back of the boat and just enjoying the experience. Being around these guys was awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely, and being versatile. I mean, being a co-angler, you got to be versatile. I mean, you don't know, you be shallow,
being very versatile.
Yep, absolutely.
Diehard Anglers said he made it, and he's got to get back and watch it. Go back and watch it. Please do. Go visit our YouTube channel. Watch it there. And Diehard Anglers always saying Mike always brings the juice. Well, we'll find that out when he comes up to New York.
Oh, he'll have it.
I thought I wanted to circle back.
I got to give a little shout out to him. It's a pretty decent friend of mine. He's a pretty good friend of mine, and he's always a trip, and he always he supports me too as well, and I appreciate those kind words.
Yep.
But
he's
definitely got to go back and watch.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. He's good people, man. He's one of the best.
Well,
and he's from an area where I grew up personally as well. We both live in Kentucky, and I spent 13 years in Kentucky fishing Lake Cumberland and some surrounding waters in there. Del Holla, and in a couple of Cedar Creek, some trophy fish stuff there, and yeah. So we grew up right in that area. So it was pretty cool.
That's funny because I live in Berea, and I work about 5 minutes from Cedar Creek.
Yeah, I love Cedar Creek, man.
Yeah,
I wish I could just
awesome.
go there all the time, every once in a while. But yeah, that's pretty cool that I didn't know you lived there. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I grew up in Danville, Kentucky. So.
Oh, yep. That's exactly where it's at.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right. So, beginning of the show, I wanted to circle back to the co-angler thing. Do you think these organizations are shooting themselves in the foot by eliminating the co-anglers? Because I see that, like with the ABAs and, they're starting to get away from it. Who's going to be next in line to take the front?
I've already got, I can't speak on it to a point where I'm saying it. But I've heard some things already that's going to be some new changes here soon with some other things as well with that. And the ABA solo, the MPFL, BPT, the Bass, Elites, and Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit. Here we go with the Toyotas. What's to come? I have no idea. Bass Opens. What's to come? I have no idea. But I have heard some things, and I, it's I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I know where I'm going to be, and again, being as a co-angler, I feel like they really need to figure out where they need to be here soon, because I don't know what to expect in the future with the co-angling business. Man, it's a world of difference when it comes to all this stuff now, because it's getting more expensive. Everything's costing more. They're trying to dial down, who's going to get this, who's going to get that. There might have been so many Bass Pro guys, and now it's, so many Bass Pro guys. So, who knows what's to come? Like I said, I've heard some things. I don't agree, but I do agree with some stuff that they've spoke of. But near future will tell. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you can always count on one thing: changes. That's what you can count on.
Yeah, yeah. They just they just released the BPT schedule. Yesterday or today? And Bass Nations just released their schedules. And I still do the Bass Nation stuff. It's actually I almost made nationals in the team event, and I just did make nationals through the Pro-Am events. So now I'll go to nationals in 2025, and if I win that, I'll have a berth to the Bassmaster Classic, which is an automatic, berth to the elites. So if you get up there,
well, that's
got a good shot.
That's how.
So I'm still, I'm still doing this and that. I'm doing the Bass Nations. I'm doing Bass Opens. I'm doing the MLF. If the right sponsor comes along and can literally endure into my life and put a spot on me, then I might move back to the MPFL. I don't know, but right now I feel like my sponsors are talking to me about doing the Bass Opens, and I feel like my career might be moving that way. So try and qualify for the elites.
Absolutely.
I know as a friend, we talked about it earlier in the year about the uncertainty of MLF. I brought it up to you, and it's tough. I mean, you don't know where they're going, when they're going, or how they're going to go from year to year, and it makes it tough to try to count on that.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. It does.
It
absolutely does.
Yeah. And you trying to do it for a living makes it tough. But when you come up this way, if you decide to stop at my house, we won't mention your occupation at all, like cabinet maker to my wife. All right. Because you may be up here a lot longer than you thought you were going to.
Uh-oh.
Well, you gotta. Here's the thing. I'll settle that debate real quick. I'm not a cabinet maker. I'm a cabinet installation. I'll
Big
install them.
difference. Yep.
I don't have the time to make them.
Yep.
If I have a buddy that does that, and he does like 3 or 4 kitchens a year, and he makes buku money. I mean, it's buku money, but you got to have a garage, a really big, these tools. Oh man, you got to have a lot. But man, the money, they make some good money.
Yep. Well, if you're only going to do 3 jobs a year, you got to make something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all that custom stuff, man. That's some big time money. So what I could do, I probably do about 175 houses a year, somewhere around in there. And, I still wouldn't touch what he made in 4 kitchens. So.
Yeah. Eddie Carper says
Crazy.
MPFL seems to be solid now. If he can, he's going back in 25.
Good deal.
Yep. Good job. I mean, I feel that MPFL is getting really solid. They had a rocky start, but it was new. No one likes new. Yeah. But how can you be somebody without starting something new? So you have to start something new to be somebody. And I'm really glad to see how they perform and where they've taken it. And I know the guys real well. I work with a couple of them still real well because I am the Southeastern States Florida ARC rep for ARC Rods as well. And I have some, Paul Benson is one of the owners of the MPFL, and me and him work together a lot. So I hear a lot of stuff with them, and they're still great people. I would love to go back, but
absolutely
see where things go.
Chase Odine says my favorite 2 guys. I don't know if he's talking about you and Mike, or Mike and me, or you and I, or what.
Must be Mike and you.
Die Hard Angler says new business is usually a rocky start. It's tough.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to ask you some difficult question now. What is your favorite homemade cookie?
What? What if I what?
Your favorite homemade cookie?
Oh my goodness!
See, this
put me on the spot with that. A favorite homemade cookie would probably have to be like a raspberry lemonade cookie. Sugar cookie.
There you go.
Now, my wife's a baker. That's why I asked that question. So
there is, Subway makes this one cookie, and I took the ingredients that I could figure out to find that, and I have my mom makes them for me. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
Awesome.
But I mean, other than that, of course, the chocolate chip cookie is the best.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All right. So how would you like to, let's talk about your sponsors and people who helped you along the way. The rest of the show is pretty much your floor if you want it. Talk about the products you use and things like that. So
well, I have a really good guy. I got this one guy, he stands behind me pretty good, and that's the MGM cold tags. These cold tags I got with a friend of mine who bought a set, and I was like, oh my God, I was so astonished by what he did at Toho in Florida, in Lake Toho. And he caught all these fish, and he was showing them to me on these cold tags. And I was like, dude, I've never seen cold tags work like that. He's holding up like 19 pounds of fish, and they're flopping around everywhere. And yeah, so I was like, man, I got to get me some of them. And I got some, and then they got I think you redesigned them a little bit, and they're phenomenal. So MGM cold tags, my favorite go-to cold tags. I'll probably use them forever. They work so good. You know who I'm talking about, don't you, John?
Yeah, maybe.
They're also coming out with a new color too, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come out with different colors. They're all numbered. Solid clips, no rust whatsoever. man, these things that I use a set every year, but I feel like I don't even have to do that because I don't lose anything. So great cold clips. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you, sir.
But no, Bruiser Bates has stood behind me a lot. I know me and Bruiser Bates have been together for a while. Steve Dial is a really good friend of mine. On and off the water, we design things together. We have a couple of guys that are in there, Robert Roboleski, Bobby Bakewell. We all work really close with Steve, and Steve has been a very important part of my life as well with Bruiser Baits because, I mean, look, I just won an event off his baits, and it was just as simple as call me, let's touch base, let's do this, let's tweak this, let's do that. Great guy to work with. I can't say enough for Bruiser Baits and Flat Out Tungstens. They're, Bass Addiction gear as well as they're all one. And we have custom molds, hand injected molds. I mean, our baits are really versatile as well. So we have several baits. And of course we carry the only big nasty there is, or the Whiplash, which is like a 19-inch worm. It's stupid crazy. That's for the Everglades though.
Yep.
And so yeah, Bruiser Baits and Arc rods have been there for me for the past 5 years, going on 5 years now. Arc has been a big part of my life. I've worked with the owners so much, and we've been everywhere together. Of course, like I said, I am the Florida Arc rep for Arc rods, all the southeastern states as well. So if you're interested in getting them in stores, and anybody seeing this wants to get Arc rods in your stores, let me know. Give me a shout. DM me. I'm sure you can. There's other ways of getting in touch with me. Michael Catt Fishing, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, however you want to get in touch with me, I got it. But yeah, so gravity reels, that's part of Arca still, but I don't throw anything better than, there's nothing better than the gravity reels to my opinion. So I use them every single day, every single tournament, everywhere I go around the country. They work phenomenal. So I have so many, I mean, like Mercury, Phoenix, Power Pole has been a really big blessing to me this year. They stepped up for me when I needed them. And I'm not sponsored by any electronics, but I do use Garmin and that live scope, and it has made me a lot of money. So shout out to them a little bit. But I also want to say, like, Real Snot, it's a line lubricant. They're really good. I use that on all my reels as well still. And Owner hooks, I picked them up. Owner hooks, I throw nothing but owner hooks every on everything I do. I'll change all my plugs out with owner hooks, and so I mean, I know I have so many more other things, but I can't think off the top of my head right now. But yeah, man, and then I'm a local restaurant here called Chubby's Bar, Chubby's Wings and Grill. They've sponsored me for a year now, and they're pretty. I eat there every Tuesday night, all you can eat wings. So
Ooh.
Something I do every Tuesday night. I bring all the guys together, and we all get up there for guys' night out there and have wings.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah.
And the reason I chuckled is we used to have a bar where I grew up named Chubby's. And
Yeah. You know, I've been
boy-
seeing Chubby's almost every state I go to. There's a different kind of Chubby's, though.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's a bar you grew up with named Chubby's, but I found different places like that.
Yep.
Along the way.
And no, man.
So
First tournament I ever fished in my life was a bar tournament through Chubby's.
Couple years ago.
Yeah. Back in 1994.
Cool.
That's probably before
That's crazy.
half these people, probably before half these people were alive.
Probably.
But no, I appreciate all the kind words you have, sir. Anything else you got, Rob?
yeah, I couldn't do it without y'all. That's for sure.
Oh man, man, when you won Potomac, man, we was ecstatic, man. It was great seeing you win. We knew it was coming for you for sure.
I appreciate that. It's again, that's a long time coming. So a lot of people win by ounces there, and for me to knock it out of the park was, it was a blessing. So hopefully I can do it again next year. I'm looking forward to it already. I promise you that.
Yep.
And I give you credit. If you catch fish on Cumberland, you catch them anywhere. So I give you credit. It can be tough.
There's not too many places I can't go without coming in. One thing, my big manageable thing that I really like to do is I want to make sure that I come in with a limit. I'll always try and find at least a limit of fish. I always try and find the winning bag. And, it might not be the winning bag for the tournament, but it was a winning bag for me because I gave it everything I had, and I dialed it in as much as I possibly could without stepping on toes. So that being said, to win Potomac, though, and to be able to fish versatilely anywhere in the United States, my dad taught me everything about fishing. I give him all my, all the credit, really. I'm just so blessed that he taught me at a young age how to fish because like I said, it sparked a fire under me when I fished my first event here on the St. Johns River in a BFL and almost won it. And I was just a couple of pounds out. So, yeah, that was awesome.
All right.
But literally looking forward to getting back up to the St. Lawrence River this year here in just a few weeks. So, got to watch me. Got to watch for me there.
We will.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Anything you need, let me know. I'll make sure Rob pays for it.
No.
Put on my tab.
All right.
Oh, and I guess we could announce this a little bit. I am going to be doing a giveaway at the St. Lawrence River for a brand new set of MGM cold tags. I'll post a little bit more of a better video on the Michael Catt fishing page. Go on there, follow me, go like and follow me there. So, cause that's where it's going to be at. I might do it on my other, another social media page as well, like Instagram or my TikTok page, but go there. That's where it's going to be announced at and how to win a brand new set. And then I'm also going to probably giving away a rod and reel setup as well. One of my favorite rod and reel setups I've ever had. So be looking forward to that.
Outstanding.
Right. Thank you very much, sir. Have a
great
good night.
talking with y'all.
All right. You take care.
All right. Hang out for a little bit. We'll talk to you after here, Mike.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
See y'all.
All right. See you.
All right. Oh, what a week. What a week.
Oh, yeah. Man, we had the closer. Like the baseball, we brought in the closer.
Yes, sir. All right. Anything else you got for us?
No, just a great guest, and appreciate everybody tuning in and liking and sharing and subscribing. And please come back next week. We have another set of great guests, and we appreciate all you guys, and hope you keep tuning in.
All right. Everybody be safe. Have a great week. Rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Don't be afraid to throw some of those fish catches up there so we can see them. All right. You guys take care.
All right. Peace out.